If you're a die-hard Browns fan and love breaking down the game like we do, hit that subscribe button and turn on the bell so you never miss a blitz. The Cleveland Browns have once again found themselves at the heart of off-season quarterback drama. Something fans are unfortunately all too familiar with. This time, however, it's not about not having options, but rather having too many. Yes, you heard that right. The Browns have 5 quarterbacks on the roster, and that doesn't even include franchise man Deshaun Watson, who is still presumed to be the starter when healthy. In the mix now are Kenny Pickett, Joe Flacco, and 2 fresh faces from the 2025 NFL Draft, Dillon Gabriel and Shedeur Sanders. That's a crowded room, and the noise is only getting louder. NFL insider Mike Florio has now stirred the pot even more, predicting that Kenny Pickett could be the odd man out before training camp. Even kicks off. It's a bold claim, but one that's gaining traction. And when Florio talks, people in the NFL world tend to listen. Now let's rewind a bit and look at how we got here. Back in March, the Browns shocked some fans by trading for Kenny Pickett, formerly of the Philadelphia Eagles, and before that, the Pittsburgh Steelers. Many thought this was Cleveland's insurance policy. A young quarterback with some upside, ready to step in if Watson falters or can't stay healthy. But just a month later, that insurance policy seemed less necessary when veteran Joe Flacco was re-signed to a 1-year deal. And if that wasn't enough, the Browns doubled down on quarterback depth by drafting not 1, but 2 quarterbacks, Dillon Gabriel and Shedeur Sanders. Suddenly, Pickett's path to the starting job, or even a backup role, looks a whole lot murkier. In fact, according to Florio, the Browns may have been talking up Pickett in off-season programs just to increase his trade value. Florio believes that Cleveland has no intention of bringing 5 quarterbacks into training camp. And realistically, how could they? NFL teams typically carry 2 or 3 QBs during the regular season and maybe 4 during the early parts of training camp. Having 5 guys taking snaps simply isn't practical. It dilutes practice reps, creates media distractions, and hampers player development. That's where Florio's prediction comes into play. He suggests that all the recent buzz around Pickett's strong off-season performance isn't entirely organic. Instead, it could be a calculated effort by the Browns to boost his trade stock. If that's true, it means Pickett's days in Cleveland might already be numbered before he's even taken a snap in a preseason game. It's a fascinating, if brutal, reality of the NFL. 1 minute you're the future, the next you're trade bait. And while it might seem sudden, the writing's been on the wall for Pickett. Despite getting some first-team reps in early practices, there hasn't been a full-throated endorsement from the Browns coaching staff. No, he's our guy quads. No depth chart commitments, just a lot of vague praise and we'll see language. Combine that with the return of Joe Flacco, who won fans over with a solid late-season run last year, and the drafting of 2 talented prospects hungry to prove themselves, and it's clear that Pickett is stuck in a numbers game. There's no clear spot for him in the current quarterback hierarchy. He's too experienced to be a true camp arm, too unproven to be a long-term solution, and too valuable to just sit on the depth chart. Trading him might actually be the most logical move for both Cleveland and Pickett himself. Now, let's imagine that scenario. The Browns trade Kenny Pickett before camp. What happens next? Well, the first domino to fall would likely be Joe. Flacco stepping into that veteran QB1 role during training camp. He's got the experience, the locker room respect, and perhaps most importantly, the trust of the coaching staff. That would buy time for either Dillon Gabriel or Shedeur Sanders to get up to speed. Both rookies have impressive college resumes. Gabriel brings mobility and accuracy, while Sanders offers poise and pedigree. The Browns could use the early part of the preseason to evaluate which rookie is progressing faster, knowing they have a reliable vet in Flacco to hold down a shield for it in the meantime. Suddenly, what felt like a logjam turns into a strategic timeline. Flacco now, rookie later. But here's where things get even more interesting. What if the Browns don't trade Pickett and instead decide to release one of the rookies? That would be a bold, and some might say wasteful, move considering both Gabriel and Sanders were just drafted. Teams rarely cut a rookie quarterback this early unless they're completely overwhelmed or off the pace. And based on everything we've heard so far, both young quarterbacks have been performing well in early OTAs and minicamps. So if the team keeps Flacco and Watson, and they want to keep one of the rookies as a developmental option, that again puts Pickett in a precarious position. He's too far along to be a developmental guy and not established enough to leapfrog Flacco or Watson. That leaves only one viable path: a trade to a team in need. And believe me, there are teams out there who could be very interested. Think about franchises with aging quarterbacks, injury concerns, or unproven backups. The Denver Broncos, New England Patriots, or even the Las Vegas Raiders might want to take a flyer on a guy like Pickett. He's still young, he's got starting experience, and with the right coaching and system fit, he could develop into a solid option. He just needs reps, something Cleveland may not be able to offer. So if the Browns are shopping him, as Florio suggests, now's the time to strike. The market for QBs is always unpredictable, but teams never stop looking for potential answers under center. And if Pickett does get moved, he'll probably welcome the fresh start. Sometimes a change of scenery is exactly what a quarterback needs. Meanwhile, the Browns will have to continue walking this delicate quarterback tightrope. They've got depth, no doubt, but managing that depth, balancing reps, egos, and development, our plans, is a tricky business. They don't want to let go of the wrong guy too early, nor do they want to waste valuable time and snaps on a quarterback who isn't in their long-term plans. That's why the next few weeks leading up to training camp are going to be so critical. Every report, every rep, every hint from the coaching staff will be dissected for clues. And if Florio is right and a trade is coming, then it's likely already in the works behind the scenes. The Browns front office doesn't want to head into camp with a quarterback controversy on its hands. They want clarity. They want focus. And above all, they want a plan. For now, fans are left speculating. Will Kenny Pickett be the sacrificial lamb in a crowded quarterback room? Will one of the rookies impress enough to leap into the backup role? Or is there another twist coming? Perhaps even an injury or unexpected development that reshuffles the deck entirely? One thing's for sure, the Browns are no longer starving for QB talent, but too much of a good thing can still be a problem if it's not handled correctly. Quarterback is the most important position in football, and the Browns' handling of this situation could define their 2025 season. It's not just about who starts, it's about who stays, who goes, and how. The roster chemistry is affected in the process. Stay tuned, because if Florio's prediction holds water, the Browns quarterback saga is far from over. And that's the beauty and the curse of NFL offseason speculation. It turns every roster move, every OTA report, and every insider comment into a potential headline. Kenny Pickett might still carve out a role in Cleveland, or he might be suiting up for another team come August. Either way, this story is just getting started. So whether you're a diehard Browns fan, a curious Pickett supporter, or just someone who loves a good quarterback carousel, this is the kind of drama that keeps the NFL at the top of the sports media food chain. We'll be watching every step, every pass, every depth chart change, every rumor, with the same intensity we watch a game-winning drive. Because in Cleveland, even the offseason feels like a 2-minute drill, and the next snap could change. Everything. Enjoying the content so far? Smash that like button and drop your take in the comments. We want to hear what you think about the Browns this season. In a shocking turn of events that has sent shockwaves throughout the entire NFL, Aaron Donald, the legendary defensive tackle and future Hall of Famer, has officially signed a mega deal with the Cleveland Browns. Yes, you heard that right. Aaron Donald, long considered the heart and soul of the Los Angeles Rams defense, is taking his talents to the Dawg Pound. This blockbuster agreement has completely altered the landscape of the league, as one of the most dominant defenders of all time joins a franchise that's been aggressively building for a Super Bowl run. Fans across the country are still processing the news, and analysts are scrambling to assess the implications. The Browns, already boasting an impressive defense, have now added a generational talent who can single-handedly wreck offensive game plans. This is a moment that will be remembered for years as a defining chapter in both Aaron Donald's illustrious career and the Browns franchise history. For years, Aaron Donald has been the gold standard for defensive linemen in the NFL. With a combination of speed, strength, and an unparalleled work ethic, Donald has terrorized quarterbacks and disrupted offenses since entering the league in 2014. Over the course of his career, He's racked up multiple Defensive Player of the Year awards, perennial All-Pro selections, and of course, a Super Bowl title with the Rams. Many believe that Darnold would retire as a Ram, possibly even stepping away from the game entirely within the next few seasons. But this stunning new contract with Cleveland has rewritten that narrative completely. Sources close to the negotiations reveal that the Browns made an irresistible offer, not just financially, but also in terms of the team's vision for immediate contention. For Darnold, it was the perfect storm, a chance to chase another ring. With a team poised to make serious noise in the postseason, the details of the deal are jaw-dropping. According to reports, the Cleveland Browns have signed Aaron Donald to a 3-year contract worth a staggering $105 million, with $75 million guaranteed. This makes Donald not only the highest paid defensive player in NFL history, but also one of the top earners in the league overall. The Browns clearly weren't messing around. They saw an opportunity to secure an all-time great, and they pounced on it with authority. For Donald, the financial security combined with the competitive promise of the Browns was simply too good to pass up. It's a statement move by Cleveland's front office, signaling to the rest of the NFL that they're all in on winning now. And for the fans, it's an exhilarating moment as they welcome one of the game's most feared defenders to their team. What makes this move even more fascinating is how perfectly Aaron Donald fits into Cleveland's defensive scheme. The Browns already have a formidable defensive line, anchored by superstar edge rusher Myles Garrett. Pairing Donald's interior dominance with Garrett's edge pressure creates a nightmare scenario for opposing offenses. Imagine being a quarterback facing the Browns this upcoming season. You're pressured up the middle by Aaron Donald while simultaneously having to evade Myles Garrett coming off the edge. It's a virtually impossible task for any offensive line to handle. Defensive coordinator Jim Schwartz must be salivating at the possibilities, as he now has at his disposal one of the most fearsome defensive duos the league has ever seen. This isn't just about adding talent, it's about constructing a defense that can overwhelm and demoralize opponents from the first snap to the last. But beyond the X's and O's, this move represents a massive cultural shift for the Cleveland Browns. Historically, the Browns have struggled to attract marquee free agents, often due to their inconsistent performance and frequent coaching changes. However, the acquisition of Aaron Donald signals a new era, one where Cleveland is viewed as a legitimate destination for elite players. The team's recent moves, combined with the stability provided by head coach Kevin Stefanski and general manager Andrew Berry, have made the Browns one of the most intriguing teams in the NFL. For Donald, choosing Cleveland over other suitors speaks volumes about his belief in the organization's direction. It's not just about money or stats, it's about legacy. And Donald clearly believes that he can add another chapter to his storied career by bringing a Lombardi trophy to Cleveland. As for the Los Angeles Rams, this marks the end of an era. Aaron Donald wasn't just another player for them. He was the cornerstone of their defense and one of the most beloved figures in franchise history. His departure leaves a gaping hole both on the field and in the locker room. The Rams, who recently have been navigating a period of transition following their Super Bowl triumph, now face even more uncertainty. Losing a player of Donald's caliber is never easy, and it raises significant questions about their defensive identity moving forward. For Rams fans, this is an emotional moment filled with gratitude for everything Donald accomplished in Los Angeles, but also sadness as they watch him don a different uniform. The NFL is a business, and this deal is a stark reminder of how quickly things can change in this league. Meanwhile, over in Cleveland, the excitement is palpable. Fans are already flooding social media with reactions ranging from disbelief to euphoria. Jerseys bearing Donald's name are flying off the shelves, and ticket sales for the upcoming season have surged overnight. The Browns' home opener is now shaping up to be one of the most anticipated games of the year, with fans eager to see their new defensive juggernaut in action. Local media outlets are dedicating wall-to-wall coverage to the acquisition, with experts breaking down every possible scenario of how Donald will impact the team. It's moments like these that remind us why we love sports. the unpredictability, the drama, and the hope that this might just be the year everything comes together. For Browns fans who've endured decades of disappointment, Aaron Donald's arrival feels like the ultimate reward for their unwavering loyalty. From a league-wide perspective, this move dramatically shifts the power dynamics in the AFC. The Browns were already considered a playoff contender, but with Aaron Donald in the fold, they must now be viewed as legitimate Super Bowl threats. Their defense, which ranked among the top units last season, just became even more terrifying. Offensively, with quarterback Deshaun Watson looking to return to elite form and a strong running game led by Nick Chubb, the Browns are a well-rounded team capable of competing with the best. Rivals like the Kansas City Chiefs, Buffalo Bills, and Baltimore Ravens will have to rethink their strategies when facing Cleveland. The AFC North, already one of the toughest divisions in football, just got even more competitive. It's going to be fascinating to see how the rest of the league responds to this seismic shift. Aaron Donald's decision to continue his career with the Browns also raises intriguing questions about his personal goals. At 33 years old, Donald is still performing at an elite level, but many assumed he was contemplating retirement after achieving so much with the Rams. Clearly, he still has a burning desire to compete at the highest level and to add more accolades. To his already glittering resume, the chance to mentor younger players, to play alongside talents like Myles Garrett, and to potentially capture another Super Bowl ring, all of these factors likely played into his decision. For a player who has always been about more than just personal stats, joining a team on the rise provides the perfect environment to cement his legacy as not just one of the greatest defensive linemen ever, but one of the greatest players in NFL history. In conclusion, Aaron Donald signing with the Cleveland Browns is not just another free agency move. It's a league-altering moment that will have ripple effects for years to come. It's a testament to the Browns' evolution from perennial underachievers to bona fide contenders, and it underscores Donald's relentless pursuit of greatness. As the NFL world processes this monumental news, one thing is certain: Sundays in Cleveland are about to get a whole lot more intense. The Dawg Pound is ready, the league has been put on notice, and Aaron Donald is set to unleash havoc in a new city. Buckle up, NFL fans. This upcoming season just got a lot more exciting. Thanks for riding with us on another Browns Blitz. If you liked the video, share it with a fellow fan, hit subscribe, and ring that bell so you're always part of the Dawg Pound conversation. Go Browns!